Tell us about yourself and what you do for a living. Tell us who you are.
My name is Wayne Douglas Morgan. They also call me the Cajun Cowboy. I'm an actor, producer, bodyguard to celebrities such as Lindsay Lohan and Hilton, amongst many others. I'm a federal investigator by day. I support the film industry. I'm co-owner of Upperline Entertainment with Murray Roth, an entertainment attorney. I'm also a small owner of one of the three owners of Attic Leo Entertainment, or actually, yeah, owner. I own a percentage of it, but Murray and Quentin and his other partner are owners, and I'm one of the small owners in that. And then we act, produce, or I do Louisiana Produces. I'm the president of the nonprofit organization Louisiana Produces. So we're film advocates. We just do what we can to help make the industry grow and flourish. And it's pretty much jack of many trades, master of none is what I do.
Master of none. I love it. Well, how do you make time for everything? I mean, how do you balance that schedule? It seems like so much.
Well, it is hard. Thank God I'm blessed and multi-talented. I can do several things at once, and I have leave with the government, so I've got permission to do that, and I can always take off whenever I need to, so long as I have the leave. And we travel a lot. So we went out to Haley Duff's movie premiere with Quentin Aaron up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, just recently. So it's pretty neat. It's just pretty much trying to make it work whenever I can. It's the schedules that I gotta just fit. I'm good at Tetris, so.
I love that game too. Well, how long have you been acting? Because you're in a new movie called Poker Run with John Schneider in it.
Just came out, just got released. Yep. But I've been doing movies since 2003. Yeah, 2003. So I've been acting in movies since 2003. I did Dreamer with Kirk Russell. I did Glory Road. Those were my first two films. Then I did Dukes of Hazzard. I did many different movies, but those were back in the day when I first started.
What was it like working with Kirk Russell? Did you get to meet Goldie Hawn?
I did not get to meet Goldie Hawn, but I did get to meet Kirk Russell, and there was a funny story about that because it was at a horse stadium, and there's this tunnel, and it was just I was walking through this tunnel where they bring all the horses out, and as I'm walking that way, he's coming this way. Kirk Russell is, and they tell you when we first got into business, because the first time I did anything, I was an extra in the movie, and then now I'm a SAG actor. But when I walked down on Dreamer, they said, don't look at the actors, don't talk to them. So I'm walking, and it's already too late to turn around, but he's coming this way. Oh my God. So I start looking looking down. He's like, are you okay? I'm ignoring him. He's like, are you all right? I said, sir, they said not to talk to you or look in your eyes or anything, sir. And he's like, no, I'm hurt here. And then he took a picture. I got a picture of me and him. And it was funny because they get extra so scared not to talk to these people or look at these people or anything like that. So it was kind of funny.
I love it. That's pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. I follow them on Facebook, and I know they were in a Christmas movie. That is so adorable. Actually, there's two of them. Goldie Hawn has a very short, part in it, but it's a great Christmas movie.
Yep.
So what inspired you to do this? What ignited your passion for acting? Well, you're acting, producing, bodyguard. I mean,
I like taking on challenges and doing things that I like trying things off. And they had a casting call. I have three daughters and a son, and at the time my daughters were very little, very 3 and 5, and I wanted to get them in the movies. And they had a casting call at the casting center down the street from my house. So what I did was I showed up, and I usually wear black suits with a black T-shirt. I look mean. I'm 6 foot 5, 350. And I look really mean and intimidating. And I used to have just a goatee before this, and it was a black goatee, bald head. And I walked in, and there's a long line of people, and one of the wranglers there saw me and said, "Hey, we've seen you in something. What have you been in?" And I was like, "Nothing really." And they said, "Well, we want to introduce you to the casting director." And I was like, "All right, cool." I walked there, big guy with little girls holding on my hands, and so I was trying to get the gig. And long story short, they ended up inviting me on Dreamer, and I was on there for 5 days, and then I did Glory Road and got bumped up to a speaking role on Glory Road. But I thought, I do this so I can get my kids involved. And lo and behold, all my kids have been in movies now, including my little son who did created Equal with Lou Diamond Phillips and
amazing.
Bill Duke. So he did a good job. And my youngest daughter played in Looper with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis tried to kill my daughter. And Piper Perabo, the lead actor from Coyote Ugly, she played my daughter's mom. So my baby mama is Piper Perabo from Coyote Ugly in the movie. So.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I do have to say, because I had the opportunity to sit with you and meet you, and I have to say that you're a sweet teddy bear, just like Quentin Aaron is. So,
Yeah.
if that's okay to say.
That is.
So, what were you doing? What were you doing before acting? I mean, what made you decide to move into?
Well, I was a federal and gov. I just got back from the Middle East. I went overseas as a force protection specialist in the Middle East, and I just got out of the military and then took that position. And I lived in South Carolina temporarily, where my ex-wife was from. It's a small town. And then when we were living in Washington at the time with my parents, and then I took off to go to Washington to the Middle East, and she moved back home with her parents in South Carolina. So when I came back to the United States, I flew back to South Carolina, and there was no real jobs there. So I applied for every federal job I could, and I took a Department of the Navy job, security specialist, brought me down here to Avondale, Louisiana. When I got down here, that's when I started doing the movies. And I've done the movies. I've got over 20 years of federal law enforcement experience now, and for 20 years of experience, and then I'm doing the over 20 years of movies too now. So
Awesome. So it's incredible, that you're doing what you love.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Have there ever been any instances where you tried out for a film? Or let me ask you this first: are there any films that you've turned down? I mean, what makes you decide that you want to be part of a certain film?
Well, pretty much at this point, I'll take any film that I can. But I did have to turn down the Carmen Electra movie. It was a National Lampoon movie, because I go to the Cannes Film Festival every year, and I go out there to work, and I do a lot of bodyguarding out there and make a lot of money when I go out there. And so one year I did an audition and got the role, but because I couldn't go to the fittings, they said that I'd either have to take the position and go to the fittings or give it to somebody else. So I gave it to somebody else, and my buddy David Martinez got the role then, and he ended up doing it in the movie. And it was pretty funny, little short little piece, but I still had fun that year and made a lot more money when I did what I did over France.
So when you're acting, like, let's say, for example, Poker Run, are there any times, like, in the movies that you actually get imposter syndrome, where you're like, man, what am I doing here? This is crazy. How is this possible? Am I, like, good enough? Or do you ever have that in anything you do with production, film?
I do. It's not imposter syndrome, but I'm like, what is a guy from Oregon, Eugene, Oregon? I'm from Eugene, Oregon originally. What is a small dude, or what is a guy from small town Eugene, Oregon doing here? I mean, I go to events where there's, I met Hugh Hefner, I met Stan Lee, I've met, all these different icons, and I get to be in places where there's people that are doing exceptional things, and I'm around them a lot. And it's just funny because sometimes I just can't believe that I'm there doing these things. So I work hard to get there, because I definitely work hard, but it's just, sometimes it's amazing who I'm with or what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can see that. So is there any one, like, actor or actress that you've been so starstruck by that it's just like, oh my gosh, you're so nervous?
Not really starstruck, because one thing I realized is everybody puts their pants on the same way. And if you treat somebody like they're higher than you, then you're putting yourself down.
I can remember a time where I don't know how to control my starstruckenness, But I remember a time seeing George Strait. I had these excellent seats in the basketball at a basketball game, Spurs, San Antonio Spurs. And I saw George right over there. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go say hello to him because that's like the biggest dream, you know? But I didn't because I respected his time. He wasn't there as a celebrity. He was there on his personal time, just watching a game and chilling. So, you
Yeah,
know, but yeah.
I love.
So, well, what do you find most rewarding about what you do?
I like to travel. I like the excitement. I like doing things that I've never done before. If you ask me, out of all the things I do, I really like bodyguarding because I get to go out there and be around these people and get to know these people, and they get to know me, and they know me as Lindsay's bodyguard or Paris's bodyguard. And so I get to know these people. When I go back out and want to bring a friend or something, I'll be like, yeah, this is Lindsay's bodyguard. Want to go? Then they'll treat me kind of like, yeah, hey, it's Lindsay's bodyguard. Let's take care of him. So it's pretty neat.
Well, what was it like? Tell us in each instance because everybody loves both of them. You know, Lindsay Lohan and then Paris Hilton, it's hot. It's hot, So, I mean, what was it like? Tell us.
We went to Disney World. We went to France. We went to Germany. We went a lot of different places. But when we went to Disney World, the first thing we got there was Lindsay said, "Who else is here?" And it was Andre 3000. He was there. Yeah. And so we tried to make it work out so we could meet up with them, but we couldn't. We didn't end up doing it. But we got to go underneath Disney World, and it was neat because I heard rumors, but they have underneath catacombs and trails and stuff. And so we got to do Space Mountain. They let us just ride it, come all the way back down, switch over to the other side, hop on it again, and ride it. And it was pretty fun. And then we did what is it, that musical? I forget what it's called, but I actually got some of these photos because they would block it off, so nobody could get the photos. We'd have to buy them, and then nobody else could buy them. So I got the photos of us at Disney World and riding on the rides. It's pretty fun.
That sounds awesome. So that was with Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan. Paris is cool too, but she does DJing and stuff like that overseas. And Snoop Dogg, I've done Snoop Dogg several times overseas too, and even here in my hometown, I've bodyguarded him. He comes down here to a little thing with my friend Danny Sinclair brings him out here for a Christmas party usually every year, and I think he might be bringing them down this year again, but I'll see.
I love his music and I just love his vibe. Like he's so chill, I love it. So let's see. Well, are there any actors that have influenced you? Like, is there someone you look at and say, man, I'd love to be like that? Or
I like Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt isn't afraid to speak on his religious side. In Hollywood, a lot of people don't have that religious side, or they do. They're afraid to speak of it. And I like the fact that Chris Pratt is fun-loving, hardworking, but he does hold on to his Christian values, and I like that because I have Christian values, and I've seen a lot of things in Hollywood that doesn't have their Christian values in place. So I like that. I like how you can go forward and still be a Christian with your values. And so I really look up to Chris Pratt. I think that young man's doing a good job. So.
that's amazing. I'm with you. So what is your typical day? What is it like?
Well, it varies. It varies a lot depending on what I got going on. Sometimes we travel. Sometimes we're working on movies. Sometimes we're working on developmental meetings. Sometimes I'm doing investigations. Sometimes I'm doing write-ups. So, I mean, my day varies. I never know what I got. So I have to have a busy schedule. During COVID, we were working for the federal government from home. So I've got my laptop with me and I can travel wherever I need to go and do the work. But, there's rehearsing for movies. There's getting developmental funds in place. There's getting, financing in place for movies. I'm working with several people like Thomas Johnston from John Schneider. He has his own studios at John Schneider Studios. So we're working on some things, and then Quentin and I are developing some things. So it's really busy. I mean, you never know what's going to happen each day.
Awesome. So what has been the most challenging for you? And then how did you overcome it?
Well, it's on a personal level. I fell in love with someone recently, and you know, I haven't dated anybody in 20 some years because I was married, and we got divorced, and I hadn't seen anybody in 8 years. And I met somebody, and it's the traveling around while you're trying to meet somebody and maintain it. But we're kind of, you know, we're taking space away right now, and so that's overcoming it is just just praying, I guess, praying that everything will turn out the way it's supposed to. And hopefully it'll work. If it's not, then hopefully I'll have learned a lesson. But trying to have a personal life while you do everything you do, and then have 4 kids of your own. Plus, I got a foster child that I fostered. She's not a child anymore. She graduated from high school, but she's living with her sister now, and so she's another daughter. So I have 4 daughters and a son, and my youngest daughters, both of them are 17. My oldest is 24, then 22. And then my son is 10 years old. So, you know, trying to make a personal life in there somewhere. And the thing is, I'm even though I'm the strong man, you know, I still got emotions and feelings, and trying to make things work, and having to deal with being apart and not being able to talk as much as I'd like to. You know, again, I have the same kind of drama in the relationship area that most people have. And I'm hoping, so everybody pray for me, hope that it works out, because I really like this girl, and I hope everything works out. But right now, I don't know. Maybe we just need space. Maybe we don't. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
Well, I'm praying for you because you have the sweetest, kindest heart.
Oh,
When I met you, it's so amazing. You know, you're a teddy bear. You are. And so I hope everything works out for you. I know it will. I know it will. You've got a wonderful attitude in life. And yeah, I just wish you the best.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So just a couple more questions. This is amazing. This is just incredible. And I have to be honest, I was nervous about doing the interview with you.
Oh,
But you're one of the sweetest souls that I know. So just a couple more questions. So what was like the most exciting thing you've ever done? A win that you were so happy about?
wow. I think the most exciting thing that I've ever done was have kids, and that's being
Oh,
sweet. And then also meeting this girl. The night I met this girl, this unnamed woman, it was at a place, and it was amazing because the energy and the light that she had was just so amazing. But I love what I have. I love the experiences that I enjoy in life. But I think on a professional level, one of the best things I ever did was when I landed the role in the Dukes of Hazzard. People still recognize me from that. Don't you know you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day? Then, just having my kids grow up and see their dad. I mean, my kids have seen me with some incredible people, but I just don't think they know that the most incredible people that I've been around is my kids. So my kids see me around amazing people, but they don't realize that they are the most amazing people that I've surrounded myself with. Also with the girl I liked as well. She's too. So she came out and visited my kids over Thanksgiving. And she was supposed to, no, not Thanksgiving, Halloween. She was supposed to come around with her kids and at Thanksgiving, but we haven't really been in a relationship. We've just been friends, seeing each other. And so, those were the good times that when I look back, I'll remember those times.
that's incredible. I love how you say that your kids are, the most incredible. They're your celebrities.
They are every day.
Oh.
See these guys, they each have their own little personalities, and they're growing up to be their own individuals. And I'm so very proud of them. They make it all worthwhile.
So what would you, if somebody wants to get into acting, what would you want your listeners to know, about it? What are some advice?
The advice is get yourself out there, make friends with people. It's all who you know. If you know a ton of people, then they know a ton of people, and then you know them. And you have to have your tools. So everybody's like, oh, do I need a head? Yes, you have to have a headshot. It doesn't have to be $1 million headshot. You just go out there and have a headshot. You got to have an industry standard headshot. If without one, you can't get your job. You got to have a demo reel if you have one. If you don't, you can reach out to colleges and universities that have film programs, and their seniors have to do senior thesis films. and they have to hire actors to get in them. Become a SAG member when you're ready, if you're able to. Join the union, Screen Actors Guild. It makes you a professional. It's kind of like there's football players that play football on the street, and there's semi-pro football players, there's college football players, there's pee-wee football players, and then there's professional football players. Which one do you want to be? Because you could be a football player playing on the street. Do you want to be a professional? Just like an actor, you could be an actor on the street, a street performer. They're not getting paid, they're getting tips, whatever. They have, theater actors at little tiny theaters where they're getting paid maybe $5 a night. Then they have professional actors who get, by the SAG union scale, over $1,000 a day to do their film each day, which is what the SAG union helps you get, regulates your pay scale. And so you got to realize, what is it that you want to do? Research it, find out as many people that you know that are doing it. Ask questions. People like to talk about themselves. Don't ask questions about you, ask questions about them. They'll tell you. They like to talk about themselves, especially actors. You get them to talk and they'll tell you about them and how they got to be where they are and what they do and what they like. They're not shy people. So just go out there and immerse yourself in the process.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is total inspiration. So what do you have coming for us? What's the next big thing?
I can't really tell you much about it because we're developing it. It's in development, but just remember, there's a new shape of justice out there, and that should be all I have to say about this, because we've got a TV series that we might be working on, or we are working on, to develop out there for Netflix. We're hoping, but all I can say is this: when you hear it, you're going to know that there's a new shape of justice.
Excellent. Oh, this is awesome. So where can people find you if they want to follow you and stay in touch so they can see this new shape of justice and everything that you're doing? Where's the best place they can follow you?
You can find me on Facebook, Wayne Douglas Morgan. I'm on Facebook. I've got 5 different Facebook pages because there's full at 5,000, some of them. So find the one that you can ask or request to be my friend. You can also www.waynedouglasmorgan.com. That site's being developed right now. It's going to be my home site that shows everything, what I do. You can also search Doug Cajun Cowboy with a D-A, Doug Cajun Cowboy. You can search me and find me there, or you can just look me up on IMDB and it's got all my information there.
And I'll also include all that information in the show notes so they can check out the show notes for more information. Great. Well, is there anything else that you think I missed that you want to share?
I believe in you. I believe in everybody out there. So you can do whatever you set your mind to.
You're amazing.